stonks Dogecoin, like that little meme dog, going up against these institutional people. And I understand, yes, do we want to remove some of that money from hedge funds? Yes. Do we want to even the playing field? For sure. But do you think there's any level of it where some of these guys are like, yo, I've been doing this for 40 years. Like I studied my whole fucking life to do this. My family depends on this money, whatever, especially some of the guys at the lower levels that aren't, $1 billion golden parachute guys, but these guys that have studied their whole life to be there. Do you think there's any level of that? People that are just upset because a group of people are using a fucking meme dog to be.
Of course. But
absolutely. Like, first of all, it absolutely has poetic justice, this concept of sticking it to the man. It feels good. It's got a feel good story. And I'll tell you who's kicking themselves. The guys that were sitting out in 2010 with their pickets outside of Wall Street saying that we got to occupy it, hoping to take over the control of it. But they're just complaining. They're like, no, man, this isn't fair, whatever. These guys figured out a different way to do it. I don't think it was their intention to take down Wall Street because, it's not the same situation. It's not like they're out of a job, whatever. They're just bored and they're making money with it. And it kind of turned into it. But here's what I want to see on that particular thing. So like, we also got to stop these short sellers, whatever. One thing is taking down a fund, that a hedge fund. That feels good because they've done it. This is an invite-only big boys club, and all of a sudden these nobodies got together and just knocked somebody out, in an all in poker, right? The what's going to be interesting is as soon as the stocks turn around, maybe these GameStop, maybe some of these other ones are trading in general. I know for a fact they're all going to change their mind. And they're going to say, all right, guys, let's go ahead and just short this too because it's going down. These guys are after making money. And they're not going to, they're not going to sit out on any money. And the fact is, most likely at some point, GameStop's going to come back down to reality. And these people, they're going to make money on the way back down. And sure, call them hypocrites, but it's going to make people go crazy, because right now they're thinking, these guys, they're all in it for making money. So I can't wait for that to happen because this whole movement against short bettors, I've seen this happen time and time again on Wall Street. On Wallstreetbets. It happened last year during the temporary crash in the market, and they changed their mind. But to your second point, the meme stocks, absolutely, it's got to piss these people off. They have to go and learn about discounted cash flows with who knows what with the EBITDA tax, whatever, and they get these certifications. The CF, there's all sorts of certifications, really difficult to get. And yeah, these guys are sitting there going, my Tesla has a ludicrous button, and I'm going to turn these bets into a ludicrous bet, and they make a funny TikTok video. And then they actually make money. That's the thing. So these old timers will sit there and say, you guys don't know what you're doing. You're going to lose your shirt. Well, they haven't lost their shirt yet. And it's been a while since they've been doing this, long before GameStop. And the fact is their little funny pictures are having an effect on it. So I'll give you one example. Last year when the pandemic started, everyone was locked in. People having to do Zoom meetings for everything. They're like, let's invest in Zoom. And they look it up and they look up the wrong Zoom company because there's ticker symbols and they don't always match. So they bought a company that just happened to have that ticker, and they shot up this unsuspecting company, the price of the stocks astronomically, right? The other Zoom also went up. The correct one also went up. And these institutional traders going, you children, you picked the wrong stock. You don't know what you're doing in the investing world. But these children made more money picking the wrong stock than they did had they picked the real Zoom. Wild. They took their money, walked away. They said they're not waiting for dividends on these things, So it's crazy.
It's like a perfect storm right now, though, too.
Yeah.
I think everybody is looking for a way to organize themselves. Could you imagine it happening right now? Because like he was saying, I see in the group, I've spent far too much time as a father of 4 children. I probably shouldn't be on Reddit for fucking 16 hours a day, but so be it. But what I'm seeing on there is a lot of people actually holding. For example, the kitty guy that had 53K. This guy has life-changing money. And yes, he sold a little of his position, but he's sitting there with what, $30-40 million in shares. We're educated guys, and I'm holding my stuff. I'm willing to take it down because I just like how history writes its story.
I'm holding it to the grave.
I'm that way. I'm like,
to the moon.
If the Renaissance happens and they go look through the files, I want to be like, that boy is one of us. Like, I grew up with nothing. I went to prison. I've been through all these things. It is really just like he said, it's poetic justice. Just to see just to watch them stressed. That right there, like ulcers are probably forming and all
hemorrhoids.
Yeah.
Here's my
They've never been stressed probably like this.